Hey, everybody. This is Aiming Up with Kenneth and Trey. We're episode 16, and it looks like we have Hugh Me
Yeah,
and Mai. What is
my.
me? Okay. Hugh Mai, and he is the founder of YourNuts. We're going to dive a little bit into what YourNuts is and also his background and what he's done before. And we're just really excited to sit down and have a conversation with you. So, YourNuts, can you tell us what it is?
Yes. Firstly, I'd just to say thanks for, giving me this opportunity to speak. And as you both would agree that I probably wouldn't have this opportunity if it wasn't for Jake. So um, I just want everyone to recognize that, this is all Jake really, setting us up.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
We're
But
excited
yeah,
to have you.
yeah, appreciate it, mate. And I'm really excited to speak more about, about myself and what Your Nuts is about. So, but yeah, basically, Your Nuts is an underwear company, right? So, about protecting, men's nuts and from, because the background here is that I was having test issues, like a lot of test issues. Like, I didn't know it, but when I first reached out to Jake, I actually wasn't feeling right. I When I did my first blood work with him, I actually remember the number that I got. I got 17.7 or something like that, which isn't like the
Wow.
worst, but it's not like the
Yeah,
best, obviously. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? So, as you
sure.
both know, the reference ranges are like what? It's like 10 to 28 or something, isn't it? Something like
Yeah.
that.
So Kenneth, that's nanomole. So that's like
Yeah,
per metric.
you have to translate it over to
Yeah.
American. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
figured. Yeah.
yeah. And then like from that moment, my goal was to increase my test from the moment that I started working with Jake. Do you know what I mean? So
How old were you then?
I was 28 actually.
Okay, so a couple years ago. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was 6 years. So I actually met Jake in right in COVID. So COVID was like a blessing for me because I met Jake. Do you know what I mean? Like it was awesome.
How did that
Um,
come up? I'm curious.
uh, I
Because was
think
that still when he was with Clean Health or
nah, 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 nah. Basically, fuck. This actually goes back a while now, but I actually felt like there was a massive divide in communities, right? In COVID, as you both know, I'm sure. Yeah. I, I think I was just following him, and then I was reading his posts, and I was reading, what he was posting about health, and I kind of felt like kind of resonated to his values and his morals towards health and relationships and people in general. Uh, and then I just remember waking up one morning, I was like, I'm just going to contact him, and I actually want to work with him. It was kind of through COVID
Were
where
you
we had this
were you
massive
a part
divide.
of his double secret
The Telegram?
Telegram,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
Telegram where
was.
you had like
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
stuff about COVID and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, yeah,
I
I
remember
was.
feeling so
Yeah,
privileged to get all that
yeah,
information because
yeah, I remember that.
simultaneously being in America, we're getting all this information from the news and all that stuff. So like I'm listening to Joe Rogan, who's kind of like breaking out at the time, and then you've got Jake like breaking new information about COVID. And I remember, do you remember the protocol that he
Yeah, I
gave
remember that.
everybody?
Yeah, I remember
I,
that.
I thought
Yeah,
that was so cool. I was like,
yeah,
oh man, I'm kind of ahead of the
yeah,
curve here.
yeah, I remember
So
that.
that's when it started. That's
Yeah,
when you met him,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's when you realized you had a testosterone problem.
yeah,
And
that's
then
right.
from there, okay, actually, let's pause there. So, Your Nuts is a underwear company that's focused on men's health, directly concerning clothing that is hormonal disruptor. It's not a hormonal disruptor. There's a lot of that stuff on the market. So prior to that, what were you doing? And maybe are you currently still doing something else, or is your nuts all you're doing? and kind of like give me the background of what you were doing then, and then give me the conversation that happened with Jake that sort of turned the light bulb on where you're like, I'm going to go start this company.
Yeah. Okay, so for as long as I can remember, I've always been obsessed with like health and well-being, right? And at about an age of about 17, um, I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. And at that time, I was playing like cricket and footy. I'm not sure if you guys know footy, like
Yep.
AFL. Yeah.
Yep.
I was playing cricket and footy, and my direction in life was always to like pursue sport. Like I was not academically smart at all. Like I hated reading, I hated all that shit, you know? So I always wanted to do sport. And when I got diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, I'd like severe back pain. Like I couldn't walk at one point. Yeah, I just had crazy symptoms where I just couldn't I couldn't run or I couldn't bowl, I couldn't kick a footy, I couldn't do any of those things, right? So I think my obsession with health kind of stemmed from that because it's like I know how shit it feels to, be in the dumps essentially where you can't do anything. Um, that kind of led me into also like at that time I was studying engineering. I was doing computer systems engineering. And then I figured that I was doing that for my parents. Coming from an Asian background, it's either you become an engineer, you become a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer. Do you mean naturally that's what
Yep.
they want you to do?
Yep.
So I was kind of like the black sheep in the family. I didn't want to go that route. I just want to play sport. So the next best thing for me was to either train athletes, right? And that's kind of how I got into coaching and personal training because that was the next best thing I could do, right? Is if I can't be an athlete, I want to be around these guys, right? Because it's kind of like,
You want to live
I'm
vicariously through them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. Um, so I quit engineering and then I started, I think I took a year off just to kind of figure out. That was what, maybe I was about 23 or 22 around that age. And then from there, I did my Cert 3 and 4 in, fitness, which is completely bullshit. You learn basically nothing in that. Um, and then,
So Trey, can you translate that for like Americans? What would that be?
yeah,
Would
yeah.
that be like a
Actually,
NASM cert or something like that?
Was it a cert you did, or did you actually go to like
yeah,
a?
yeah, it was a cert. Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably
Okay.
like I mean NASM or like NSCA, ACE,
Okay.
ACE. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Something
yeah,
simple.
yeah. It'd be
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Okay.
It's very basic, right? It was
Yep.
basically all about business, like how to make money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember them teaching me, you know, make your client tired so they feel like they worked out, right?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, what the
Yep.
fuck is this, right? I actually left.
That's funny.
So their training model was do 30-minute sessions, right? So let's just say you do 5 sessions in the morning and then 5 sessions at night, right? That means you've done 10 sessions, right? Within like that's like 2.5 hours or whatever it is, right? And then you make 150, $200 per 30 minutes. And that's how they wanted you to churn your clients through, right? It's just to make money, not actually coach the person, essentially. So I hated that. So I quickly realized that, and then I just seeked out more mentorships through, my network essentially. So just going through other coaches and um, learning how they do it all, and actually thinking about the client and not just about money and leveraging people. So um,
So we're kind of all coming from the same background, essentially. And then you found yourself with a testosterone problem. And then you started, I guess, did you work with Jake to get healthy? Is that what happened next?
basically, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. What did he teach you that kind of applied, or what did he teach you that started the journey towards let me go start this business to make an impact in the hormonal disruptor area in terms of underwear. Because I'll be honest with you, I when Trey and I were talking, we always talk about the podcast every week. We're scheduling people. We've got several people scheduled out for the next few months, and so when he brought up your name and he brought up your company, I immediately pulled it up online, and I'm
Yeah,
looking at your website, and
yeah,
I'm sort of mind boggled, honestly. Like it was just not something that I would ever think about. And
really, yeah,
for the people that are listening, the underwear is made out of merino wool, right?
yeah,
Am
yeah.
I
That's right.
correct in saying that?
Yeah,
So when I think about merino wool, I think about itchy.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
about,
yeah,
I mean, it's soft, but it can kind of be itchy. I remember like walking through a department store with my mom, and there was this merino wool sweater, and I remember looking at the price tag, and it was like $180 or something
yeah.
crazy.
That
And I
makes
looked at my
sense.
mom, and I was like, what is this? And she was like, oh, that's merino wool. And she kind of explained it to me. So when I saw your website and sort of the premise, it it was something that was so far left field for me, and it probably is for some of our listeners too. So how in the world did you get to the place of knowing that the underwear that me and Trey are walking around wearing is actually impacting our fertility? It's impacting our ability to be optimized males.
Yeah. So I remember speaking to Jake about it, right? Because initially I wanted to do like organic cotton, okay? Because everyone knows organic cotton, right? It's just a safe material that you can easily get and produce, right? So, and Jake, knowing me, he knows that I want the best of everything, right? I don't like he doesn't care. Like I don't care if it's 1% and it costs me $1,000. I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just my nature where I want the best of the best. Do you know what I mean? So he was saying, why don't you do merino wool, right? Because merino wool is actually really thermo-regulating compared to other natural fibers. Okay. So its ability to kind of wick away moisture and also, absorb, like take away the heat from your body is better than any other natural fiber, essentially. Okay. Because
No
no
kidding.
other natural fiber
Okay.
can do that, you know? Um, so he was like, why don't you do merino wool or even cashmere? Cashmere is like from goats, right? Which is super, super, super soft, right? I eventually want to do like a premium line where there's like 10% cashmere and then 90% merino wool. Like I actually got a sample of that and I was like, whoa, this is gonna like it's gonna tickle your nuts essentially. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels amazing. Like I couldn't believe how good that felt. Like with the cashmere, just a little bit of cashmere made a massive difference to how the whole merino wool kind of felt. Um, so yeah, that's the biggest thing why we went with merino wool because the thermoregulating properties compared to any other natural fiber.
So what's interesting to me is I hear, so this is the story I've heard so far. You're a guy who your parents had these high expectations that you're going to go be this smart person who becomes a doctor or a lawyer or something that requires a master's degree of some sort. And you are like, nope, I'm not interested in that. I'm going to go play sport. But you got unhealthy, decided to live vicariously through your clients, and now you're designing underwear. It's a pretty crazy
It is,
stretch. I mean,
yeah,
I think because if I look at you and everybody's looking at you, you look like an athletic guy. You don't look like an underwear designer of any sort. You don't look like
yeah,
you like belong on the New York
yeah.
designer catwalk. So it's interesting to me to kind of hear your overall story, but it sounds like you're really passionate about it. And what about it caught your passion? Like, what is it that you were just like, oh man, I'm all in on this. Like,
Yeah.
this is going to be what I want to lead off with, and this is the business that I want to have, and this is what I want to build it into. And maybe you can tell us a little bit I'm assuming you're still kind of in a startup phase, I
Yeah,
guess, a little bit. It sounds like you've
yeah,
been around for a little while, but maybe still kind of building up. Can
yeah,
you kind of have can you give us an idea of what it's been like so far, and then what the plan is going forward too?
yeah, yeah. So I'd just like to say that without obviously Jake and my other mentor, Elad, like nothing honestly would have happened. So firstly, my other mentor, Elad, he owns a baby clothing company. It's called
Okay.
Hubs Baby, right? And he does organic cotton. And in regards to the process of that, right, I don't think Your Nuts would be where it is today because it's like finding a manufacturer takes years. Do you know what I mean? Like a good one, especially a really, really,
Right.
really good one. So for me, right, I started this idea maybe about 2 years ago, right? So if I didn't have Elad and Jake both by my side, I'll probably still be 2 years, down the track, still trying to find a manufacturer.
Sort of in a
So
research phase or something, maybe?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like testing all the materials, testing the manufacturer. I'm so like I can't express how grateful I am to have these two guys in my corner because it's like I still would be, testing out materials. I
Sure.
mean, so
Sure.
it's like when I do speak about your nuts and like the process of getting here, it's like I wouldn't be here without these two guys because of their knowledge and the connections. Like, um, so it's like how it got here is because like I've been fast tracked essentially through like other people.
Okay. That makes
Okay,
sense.
and
Okay.
yeah, 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 and it's been like a game changer for me because it's like in business, like speed kills essentially, right? And I've got that. And it's like if I didn't, I'll still be in this testing phase of testing all these manufacturers. Like it's actually so crazy. Like
So how short do you think you were able to cut the, I guess, the learning curve with their help? Would you say that it's usually like a 5 year kind of plan, or is it sort of like a 10 year thing, or have you just shaved off the 2 years that you needed to do? And because I'm actually on
yeah,
your website right now,
yeah,
I'm actually gonna buy
I
some
mean, I
right
would
now
argue it
because
was pretty fast, dude, because I mean, he's always out of stock. I mean,
well,
and that's not an issue
that's
with
what I'm
him.
looking at.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
looking at, so you've got medium, you've got small, medium, large, and extra large.
yeah, that's
Small
right.
is 28 to 32, medium is 32 to 35, large is 35 to 38, and extra large is 38 to 41. And I'm assuming I'm probably a medium. And the only thing you have in stock is gray, and
Yeah.
the other color is black, but it's out of stock
Kenneth,
in medium.
don't buy any. I'll actually send you out some. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
okay.
well, I appreciate that. I
Hugh's a
Yeah.
good
appreciate
dude.
that.
Yeah.
I would
But
argue, dude, it was fast. Like, because I'm trying to think when I first started seeing you, because it was even before Jake had told me about till like you and I had met, like even before that. Like, I would argue it was pretty fast. How quick for you to be 2 years in? It's 2 years,
Yeah.
right?
well, for you
Yeah.
to have a
Yeah.
website the way that you do, and then
No,
um,
he does well.
the
Like,
fact that you have
it's
the
good.
actual
Yeah,
underwear, it looks like it's well designed.
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's really high quality. And so when you're looking at something that I guess is fast tracked, you would think that those things would be missing. And even there's like a
Exactly.
box, it looks like a luxury box that it actually comes in. The packaging is really nice. So I'm totally sold on trying it because the visuals of it are really nice, but the interesting thing is so being a bodybuilder, I do a lot of check-in photos, and I don't
Yeah.
always wear my posing trunks. Sometimes I'm using my underwear. I'm just bunching them up, and I'm wearing my underwear in the photos. And my wife, this is probably 2 years ago, I used to be a guy who just bought Hanes, the multi-pack.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
go
I
you
do know
go into
hints. Yeah,
Target and you buy Hanes, and then my wife was like, "Listen, we got to get rid of this underwear. It ain't no good. It ain't lasting. It's not good." And she said, "I found this bamboo material, and it's I forget what the name of it is. Let me look at it real quick. I think it's under UNDR, and it's like bamboo, and
is it
you
Under
can buy it
Armour?
on
Is
Amazon.
that the one?
No,
Okay.
it's like a it has like an Under Armour feeling, but it's a bamboo material. But she found it on Amazon, and it was like way more expensive than the multi pack at Target, right? So like I'm not sold on it. I'm like, I don't know, it's super expensive. So I go to
Yeah,
try
yeah,
it on, and they were great. And so it's all I wear now. But now I'm gonna try yours, and so like it's like another level up in
yeah,
material
yeah.
and another level up in sort of luxury. And I think coming from, we were all talking about our age earlier. I'm 43 years old, so I'm the old guy in the group. And when you're coming from 43 years of life experience, the last thing you spend money on is your underwear. Most of the time,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
agree.
spending money
Yeah,
on underwear, you're spending it on your wife because you want to see her in something at Victoria's Secret or something. So ultimately, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
when I started spending a little money on my underwear, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to spoil myself a little bit. But now that I've looked at your website and I'm looking at the product and I'm looking at the way you package it, and you've kind of explained the interesting thought of it's like how moisture wicking it is and how it's temper controlled better than any other product. I'm like, well, shoot, let me just see if I can level up again and see
mm,
what it feels like. So I'm definitely interested in buying some.
yeah.
But it's
Don't worry, I'll
interesting
definitely send you some.
if we can talk a little bit about that, the process of, so you met these two guys, you have your purpose of what you want to create, and then I assume the guy who owns the baby clothing company really guided you towards a good manufacturer.
Yeah,
Would
that's
that
right.
be the right assumption? And then
Yeah,
from a design perspective, how did you come up with what it was going to be? Because like the ones that I'm wearing right now, and it's not, I'm trying not to have too much information, but there's like a little pocket that, holds your junk.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I hate that.
you
I honestly hate that. Yeah.
I don't
So
particularly like it, but it's
yeah,
just the way it's designed. So it's like,
yeah, yeah,
I'm curious how you came up with the design that you have.
yeah. So the first thing is that, as you said, with the the pocket design where it's kind of like bunching your nuts up.
Hmm.
Like we actually don't want that for the nuts. We actually want the nuts to like a little bit of support, right? But not too much support where it's like bunching up because it creates heat otherwise. Because the nuts will create heat essentially if you bunch it all up. So you
Okay.
know, it's a big issue I see with a lot of underwear nowadays is that there's too much support. I think they talk about support too much, where you actually want your
Okay.
nuts to actually kind of hang, kind of naturally, but not too much to the point that it's like it's fucking a helicopter. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it has to have like enough support, but not too much support where it bunches it up and creates too much heat. So that was my first thing is that, a lot of people that do try the underwear, they're like, wow, it's like, it feels like commando essentially in the front, which is kind of what I want it to be like, right? Where
Okay.
it feels like you're not wearing anything essentially. So
That's
that
kind of
was the
nice.
biggest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly right. You actually kind of want it
Do
to
you have
feel
a
like
pair,
a regular.
Trey?
Yeah, dude, he's sent me numerous. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
dude, they're worth it. They're the best.
You
And
like
it's not
you like
itchy. It's not anything you're thinking.
really?
But it's specifically with the Australian merino wool, correct?
yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Australian Marine Wool.
It's something with that, dude. It is not itchy. Like it is
Yeah,
super comfortable.
it's not itchy
Okay.
at all. Yeah,
No, you would not think it is. And then the presentation when you get it, there is if I think about like any company I've ordered anything from, it's definitely he's top three to five
He's
easily.
leveled it up,
Yeah,
right?
everything from the tissue paper to the instructions to the box, like he goes the extra mile with his company, and that's why I do think he's out of stock because what he's doing is a lot different than whatever else is doing. But also, if you were to compare what other people are charging for stuff that's not 100% merino wool, he's taking, in my opinion, taking a loss compared to what other people are charging.
Okay, that
Like a
makes sense.
30/70 blend. Like that's what I don't
Okay.
think people realize. That's why I wanted to have them on because there's nothing out there like it. Like, and that's what's so crazy and amazing is like because I didn't know it was a 2 year process. So knowing it's a 2 year process and how nailed down you are and just like how much people rave about it and it being out of stock and just how
So
good
from a
it is,
following perspective,
crazy.
since I'm new to this underwear game, it, what it you're constantly sort of having stock issues.
Yeah.
You're still in this like early phase in the big scheme of things when we start talking about clothing and design. What is your hope for the next year? Are you hoping
Yeah.
to like let this be your full-time thing, or are you still kind of working towards that, or
Yeah. Yeah.
what are you thinking?
So it is an interesting question because I love like currently what I do, which is coaching people in person. I actually really, really love that. And it's kind of like I don't want to touch that. I don't want to scale that. I don't want to grow that because I'm enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Hmm.
enjoy
Yep.
the in-person stuff. So I want to keep it that way. And where it's just like I've always got this enjoyment, right? But then
Hmm.
in terms of like building something, I feel like as a man, like you need to have that purpose and continue building something, right? You can't just be like steady maintenance all the time, right? Which is like
Right.
the coaching's for me, it's like a steady kind of like I love what I do. It doesn't give me stress. It doesn't, do you know what I mean? Like it's good where it's at. Like I don't want to grow it. But with the underwear brand, it's like, you know, I just want to build it into something that I can say that I built up from the ground where
Are you
you know,
self-funded?
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It, it's also fun to, again, like having Elad, Huck's baby owner, there for me. It's kind of like, it's helped me into, like, because he orders it through him, right? And
Okay. So you
because it's through
basically
his,
have
yeah,
access to his buying power because of his
exactly.
company,
Exactly
and
right.
you're
Yeah.
able to open this business sort of on a dime. When if me and Trey decided to do
It'll be so
socks,
hard. Oh
we're
my
gonna be
gosh.
like we're so down the river, and
Oh
we're
my
10 years
gosh.
away from having a
Yeah.
product line.
Especially like minimum
Okay.
quantities as well. The ability to like negotiate minimum quantity, like he's able to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like if I came in like as a nobody, there's no chance I'll be doing that. Do you know what I mean?
What's the MOQ? I'm curious. What's the
Yeah.
minimum you got to do?
So I remember the first minimum that I had to do was 600, and that was like a stretch.
Yeah.
That was like a massive stretch, as in like they were like, we're only doing this as a favor.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I kind of think about supplements too. Like, Trey's in the supplement game,
Yeah.
and we
The
have other
MOQs are
friends of ours
stupid.
that they're crazy. And like, it's
I got
interesting.
one the other day for something that I've been working on the background. The MOQ was 10,000 bottles, and it's
Exactly.
priced at
Wow.
$50 a bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Imagine that. Like,
yeah. It's stupid. They screw you. That's why, like, Hugh, it's a blessing. Like, the Q, you
it's,
and I are very similar. Like, how I've ended up where I am is through my connections and my network. It
yeah,
wasn't,
exactly.
I'm very blessed from that standpoint. So I think, like, for you to be able to work around the MOQs that are ridiculous for all startups, if you don't have $1 million or you don't have a bunch of money or have a
Yeah,
bunch of
that's exactly
investors,
right.
you're really SOL. So that's why
So
he's got you going.
do you think so you have two colors and you have one design, and it's sort of
Yes.
this premium, and you're talking about a potential cashmere blend that would be an extra premium. Are you going to are you going to do like a lesser? version, or are you going to kind of keep it on that premium side of things?
Yeah, so as I said before, I actually want the best of everything. I don't care.
Oh, yeah,
Like
sure,
price.
sure,
Do you know what I mean? So like there will be
sure.
nothing less than that. Do you know what I mean? It will be always something more premium to like, but in saying that, right, like I think the cashmere one is something more down the track because I actually want to release some shorts next, which is kind of
Oh, cool.
my next release, you know. But it's
Like
not going to be
what
like
kind of
just
shorts?
shorts in
Like
general.
gym shorts or like
Yeah, yeah.
casual?
So yeah, so like kind of you can wear it anywhere essentially, right? But um, yeah, I don't want to say too much about it, but
Yeah.
there is
Don't
going to
say.
be a part where, um, yeah, I don't think
I would.
anyone's doing it right
Yeah,
now.
don't even say
I think
what's in it.
wait. I think Trey, I think I messaged you about it, yeah, didn't I?
Yeah, me and you have talked to me and Jay. I wouldn't even tell the what's in it. I think it's badass,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
yeah.
do not say.
So
Yeah,
it's like it's something that I couldn't think up.
no, no. But
Probably not.
if he shares it, he's shooting himself in the foot, and I wouldn't, from a
Yeah.
business friend standpoint, I would not share what's in.
Hey, that's fine. You know
It's
what's
worth it,
great
dude.
though is
No,
Yeah,
once.
to have an idea like that is so
yeah,
cool because
yeah,
I don't think I've ever had an idea that somebody didn't already think of. So I think if you have that, like lock it down and then let me know when you release it so I can figure out what it is.
To sum it up, he has other stuff, but if it were me, I would not say anything until you've actually launched it, and if you have found a
yeah.
way to.
Hopefully by the end of the year, I do
Yeah.
launch it. Um,
Because I'm
but
curious,
yeah,
when
I'm
you were
just
perfecting this, like perfecting like the underwear, I'm assuming that you probably spent a long amount of time of you beating the hell out of them to see how long
yeah,
they withstand. Because
yeah,
I know you're doing that with the other stuff as well. Like,
yeah.
what is the process you're taking? Are you intentionally washing it incorrectly? Are you intentionally doing this to see what it can withstand? Because it does have specific instructions on how you handle
Yeah,
wool.
yeah, it
I don't think
does.
they
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
that.
So the first thing I tried to do was I just kept washing it like in the harshest of the harshest. Do you know what I mean? Like I put so much detergent in it, and then I try to put like you shouldn't put in the dryer. Like I've tested it in the dryer, right? Like I've put it in the dryer in the max heat. I've just let it spun in there, like put a lot of heat into it, right? And it's just come out the same. Like it's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So
Here's another question. So for me,
yeah,
when I think about my underwear, and it's interesting because as I've gone through this bodybuilding prep, my waist size has changed, of course,
sure.
and
Yeah,
all of my underwear is sort of stretched out. So when you have a medium that ranges between 32 and 35, how how much does it keep does it keep its form
yeah,
throughout the whole day,
yeah,
or is
yeah.
like the stretch pretty significant?
Um, Again, that's the benefit of merino wool. It's actually really stretchy on its own. So it's like you don't need
Okay.
to add like elastane or any spandex to it to make it stretch essentially. Do you know what I mean? So that's the awesome thing about merino wool is that
Kenneth,
it's
I got a
so
pair right here because these are like
yeah,
the
yeah,
second.
yeah,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they are.
Oh, they're super stretchy.
Yeah, and it's
Super
not even
stretchy.
like yeah,
So
Yeah.
my whole brain, and let me explain to where I'm coming from, is like I'm still thinking of that sweater when I was a
no,
kid when you pull
Nah.
it and it's like super stretched out.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
regular
that,
wool. Yeah.
this is completely different.
yeah,
Okay.
no,
So
it's the
different.
polar
Yeah.
opposite. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So
Um,
when you look at the demographic, when you have people purchase your products, is it women purchasing them for their husbands or their boyfriends, or is it men, or is it sort of a mix? And you know, if you're at the MOQ of, you know, initially was 600, kind of where are you now in terms of how much your stock? How long do you keep stock?
yeah. Yeah. So the demographic that I'm seeing, like I would probably say it's about 30 to 40% women that are actually buying it. which is pretty crazy, right?
Okay.
Because personally, I think women spend more on clothing in general, like as a whole in a economy. I think women care about health more and they care about clothing more. I think, whereas guys, we just trash shit, right? Like
Yeah, right.
like personally, I don't really care about clothing. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll buy $5 singlets or do you know what I mean? Whatever. Like it's kind of whatever. But then now, like knowing, understanding more about, fibers and stuff, I'm looking at spending more money on quality fibers instead of just being like, okay, it's $5, I'm just going to buy it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas my mindset's changed where it's like, okay, I look at the actual composition of what I'm actually buying and then basing my decision off that now instead of just being like, okay, it's cheap, I'm just going to grab it. Do you know what I mean?
So when you purchase, so
Yeah.
if I when I get my pair of underwear, which I'm excited about, how long can I expect them to last?
So I've had my initial sample for maybe 2.5 years now. I still wear it. Like
Okay.
it hasn't ripped.
Okay.
It hasn't done anything. Like
Oh,
it's the
that's great.
same. Yeah, it's actually the same.
Okay.
But actually,
What
to
about
answer
from
your
a
question before,
chafing perspective?
yeah, no, no issues at all.
Okay.
None. Yeah. Um, yeah. The other
When
question I
you
was
gonna
going to
mail
answer
me
to you,
those
Kenneth, is
underwear? You need to let me know pretty
yeah,
soon.
true. Yeah. Um,
Hey Trey, just drop yours in the mail. I'm
No
good.
way, dude. No way.
I think trays are large. Trays are large though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trays
Yeah.
large.
Yeah.
But in saying that, right, for example, my waist is like, I think my waist is a 28 or 29, but I wear a medium.
Okay.
So it's because,
Okay, that's good to know.
yeah, because it's like people who train, right, you're going to have naturally larger legs, like bigger glutes, bigger legs in general. So it's like, there's no way I can fit in a small because, like, it's just cramping everything, right? But even though the small says it's like a 28-inch waist to like a
Okay,
32.
so
Yeah,
so here's a question: do you have that measurement? Because my quads are, I mean, they're not giant, but they're big.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like in relative terms to like a normal human. Like I'm a bodybuilder, so
yeah,
you know, if
that's
I were
right.
to show you my quad sweep, it's pretty good. And so
Yeah, yeah,
if I'm looking at your sizing, is that going to take that into account?
for sure. Yeah, yeah. So, like for bodybuilders, I generally recommend sizing up
Okay. Okay.
just so it's not like, again, we actually don't want it too tight down there.
Okay.
So, especially with bodybuilders, there's obviously going to be more friction, more heat. You guys have more surface area. So, it just makes sense to
Sure.
size up. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
When the stock does come, I can send you a medium and a large and you can see how that feels for you. Do you know what I mean?
That'd be
It's just a
great.
matter of testing as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's harder with
That's great.
bodybuilders because it's like our proportions are so different compared to like the average person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Right. Like my when I go like when I wore a suit for my wedding, and the drop, I had a 48-inch chest and I had a 32-inch waist. That's a pretty
yeah,
daggone big drop. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
like,
That's
you
huge
have to have. When I walked into the tailor, she was like, "I don't even know what to do with all of this material that I'm going to have to get rid of for it to fit for you." So yeah, it's always kind of been an issue since I've been bodybuilding, but it sounds like you're covering that base, which is good. So when you look at success and when you're thinking about the future and you want to build this brand, give me the like 5 years from now, where do you want to be? 10 years from now, where do you want to be?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't want your nuts to just be known for underwear, right? I actually want it to be known for, leading men's clothing in terms of like natural fibers. So
Okay.
I actually want to transition into, obviously still the core message is obviously protecting men's health and their nuts and stuff like that. But as an overall picture, I actually want this to be like a leading menswear brand where, um, we're taking over natural clothing essentially,
Okay.
and not compromising because, you know, I find that once you do, what I'm seeing anyway with the big companies is that they start thinking about the cost of things, right? And I'm very much so the other side of that, where I'd rather, take the hit, but produce better things. Do you know what I mean? Essentially, it might not be
Sure.
better for me, right? But just for the world in general, I just think that's a better way to look at it. And I'd rather focus on my product, my service, and my future developments. Um, and then kind of the numbers take care of themselves if I do it that way instead of focusing on the numbers in general. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to focus on my my purpose is I hate thinking about numbers to be honest. I think it's a bad way to look at business. That's just my opinion. All right, a lot of other people might think differently where you have to always calculate your numbers and all that. I just it's just not me. I just hate business in that
Yeah,
sense where
you care
people think
about the
about numbers.
customer experience,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I think that probably is rooted in what we do as coaches. Because even what we do as coaches is we meet people where they are. So if you're meeting a person where they are in terms of their ability to train in the gym or their ability to achieve something nutritionally or their ability to even drink water during the day, then I'm sure your heart is more bent towards, okay, I don't want to price this particular person out of my product line because they're actually in need of it, because my product gives them I guess it's I don't even know what you would call it. I guess there's evidence backing that if they wear my product, they have a higher probability of having good hormones and fertility. And so if you're, it's the message rather than the the profit. And I think Trey and I both kind of operate from that position. And I think even the podcast, like, it's not about, it's about being positive. It's about making an impact. It's about aiming up in every aspect of all of the conversations that we have. And so that's kind of how you fit in to the podcast too, because you're sort of aiming up not only with your coaching clients and you're doing right by them, but you're translating that basis, sort of, I guess, what grounds us as coaches into this clothing space, which I imagine, I have this Boston hat on, and I like Boston. I like going up there and having dinner and watching a baseball game, whatever. But it's a Carhartt branded Boston hat. I bet they had to buy a million of them, and I bet they make them for $2, and I bought
Mm,
it for
mm.
$30. And they're, it's New Era is the brand, so they're a large corporation, and they have all of this funding to go and purchasing power so that they can sell more products and make more money. And that's the whole thing. So your why is to change people's perspective on buying quality clothes over and above something that's cheap, that may not last the test of time, that may not be healthy for them, and also it looks good too. So the
Yeah.
you're trying to sort of encompass everything, which is interesting. If you're in a business class, they tell you you can't have quality, you can't have pricing, you can't
Yeah.
have certain, you have to pick one or the other, and you're sort of
So
saying,
true.
I'm going to pick them all.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that attitude. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. That's yeah. I guess that's a good way to put it. Really, is that um yeah. I think like even Jake and Elad tells me like my like probably my downfall is that I want the best of the best regardless. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like there's no deviation from that. It's kind of like
Sure,
I'm
sure.
like a perfectionist essentially as well, you know. So um, it's good to have them in the corner because it's like they kind of keep me in reality check as well. But
Balanced
it's
a little
also
bit, yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit
Because
balanced, but
we don't
also
want you living in a cardboard box and wearing merino wool underwear because you didn't actually make a profit in your business, and the next thing you know, you're like the homeless
don't
guy
speak to
with the
Jake
nice
about this
underwear.
because he hates it. He hates it when I do this shit. So um, but he understands. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he understands.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Well, I tell you what, I've really enjoyed the conversation, and I'm kind of on pins and needles about the future with this short idea. So
yeah,
we're gonna have you back on at some point to divulge the idea that nobody's thinking about. Because I now actually, you know what I'm gonna do when we quit recording? I'm gonna ask you, and you're gonna have to tell me, and I won't tell
yeah.
anybody
I will.
else.
I definitely
But
will.
I appreciate you taking time out of your day, and I appreciate you having a conversation with us, and I appreciate the perspective that you have with your business and how you just want to do good. And that's what Trey and I want to do. We just want to do good. And if we do more good, how can that impact everybody else's life and maybe just change somebody's perspective for an hour in a podcast? And, if there's anything that we can do for you, we're definitely going to post it on our podcast page, and we'll tag you and invite you to be a collaborator so that
For
people
sure.
can hear about you and know who you are, and our followers can get an idea of what Your Nuts is about. And the only
Yeah,
last question I've got:
yeah.
what are the odds that you'll make women's underwear?
Oh, that's the next thing that I'll definitely be doing. Um,
Okay,
like
because if
I
I
know
get
the
a really
name's gonna
nice
be
pair of
yeah,
underwear,
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah,
my
yeah,
wife is probably going to be like, "Hey, bro, what's up? Can I get a nice pair of underwear?" So just
yeah,
know that like I think we have a good amount of listeners that are women too, and I think
yeah.
not only do they have significant others, but I think at least your approach and the way that you're thinking, it could encompass everybody, and I I guess that's about it. Do you got anything else you want to say, Trey?
Yeah, real quick, because I want you to be able to post this. I want to post it. Why should someone buy your nuts? I
Oh
want them to
yeah,
buy
give me
this.
the
Why?
why.
Because
Give me
I
the
want that
pitch
to
if
be.
I'm
I want to be able to
skeptical.
post that. So, like, you
Okay,
tell
why?
me
Okay, okay.
why.
That's a good one, right? So the first thing it comes from obviously my experience, right? I actually want guys to feel good because there's no better feeling than having optimized health. Like I just can't describe how much Jake has kind of changed my life. Do you know what I mean? Like he's changed, like he's literally changed my life. Like, and I actually want people to recognize that Your Nuts is like Jake's a massive part of that. Okay, I actually want people to understand and recognize that it's not just me, like me speaking to this podcast, but this is Jake as well. Jake and Elad, they're just as big on this as I am. Like they should be the founders too, essentially, right? Not just me. And I just want guys to feel, firstly, the sense of community of, you know, guys looking after their health and how much, like, how good that feels. Like, I'm sure you both know that once you do the blood work and you work through your symptoms and you actually find your root cause of bad health, you actually feel amazing. Like, everything improves around your life, your relationships, your business, your confidence, your performance, everything improves. So it's like, I want everyone to feel that because it's like, health in general is like it should be the foundation of everything you do in general, whether it's your family, your work, your career. I think your health should come first, and I want guys to understand that because it just makes everything else better. um so
So
that's
you
the
think
biggest thing. Yeah,
so if I'm the skeptical guy, what you're
yeah,
telling me is when
yes,
I put on your underwear, I'm gonna get a little bit of taste of what it feels like to be healthier. And
Exactly. And it's like,
that's going to change. That's going to snowball. It's going to be a snowball effect
exactly.
into the rest of my life. Okay. Okay.
Because
That makes
I
sense.
would say, okay, like fair enough. Like I would say underwear is maybe 1%, all right, of the bigger picture,
Sure.
right?
But it's still a move
But it's
forward.
exactly right. It's about like being that, like, personally for me, I want to do every 1%er. I don't care what it is, right? I want guys to understand just because it's only 1%, it doesn't mean you don't do it, right? You
Right.
still do it regardless. It's a low hanging fruit where it's just like buying, like thinking about your underwear, it's just buying it instead of just buying another thing. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty simple. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion, is that just switching that?
Sure. It's like
I
drinking
want guys
water.
to think,
You're going to drink
yeah,
water to
yeah,
feel healthier.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like
That's exactly
little
right.
it's like the habits we give all of our clients. It's like, okay, how do we stack a bunch of 1% habits together so that our clients have a better overall health outcome? And it's interesting when I put on a nice t-shirt that fits well, then I feel better. When I put on a
Yeah,
hat that fits well, I
exactly.
feel better.
Yeah,
And I would imagine that when I put on your underwear, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel more
exactly.
confident. And
Yeah,
especially if my wife likes it, then that's even better. So I can see that perspective. So for all the skeptical dudes out there that are listening, they're like, bro, I'm going to wear my Hanes until the day I die.
yeah,
I say you give it a try. See if you feel a little bit different when you put your nuts on.
yeah. I'm sure you feel the difference. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise, I
For
wouldn't be
sure.
doing this. Like, you're speaking to a perfectionist, like someone that,
Right.
yeah, I will, like, it's like my blood work. Like, I tell Jake, give me what I need, but then give me the 1% as well. I don't care how much it's
Right.
going to cost
Right.
me. Just give it to me. Like, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
kind of like that with the underwear. It's like, just, I want everything. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I want men to feel
Absolutely.
like, just do it regardless, essentially.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you explaining that. And if you guys haven't, where can we find you? You're on Instagram,
Yeah, yeah. So,
your website?
yeah. So my Instagram is my first name Hugh dot is nuts, and then my Instagram for the business, I think it's yournuts.co. So co. I actually couldn't get the yournuts by itself, but yeah, it's yournuts.co, and then the website's yournuts.com. So it's nice and easy.
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks again for talking with us. And I appreciate the time. And we'll post you guys soon.
No,